Okay, welcome everyone to the August 12th regular Cross Lake City Council meeting. Let's stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first of all, a motion for the approval to the additions to the agenda.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Consent calendar. All items here are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be acted on one motion. There will be no discussion on these items unless a citizen or councilman so requests. Any comment?
No.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Public forum. No action will be taken on any of the issues raised. If appropriate, the issues will be placed on the agenda for a future council meeting. Speaker must state their name and address. Each speaker is given 3 minutes. Anybody want to come up? Public forum is closed. Mayor and councils, let's see. First one is an acceptance of the resignation of Gary Valala from the Public Works Department. And Park and Rec, both?
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
Gary,
moved.
got a motion by Hecox.
Second.
Second by Andrews. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Number 2 is High Tech. Is Andy here? Sure is. Come on up. Andy from High Tech Construction is going to give us a little update, I believe, huh?
Yes. And good evening, everybody. Thank you for let me come up and kind of give an update on where we're at with the new City Hall project and police station. Since the last time we were up here, the documents for the permit and the bid documents have been completed. They can be submitted to the city as early as tomorrow for plan review process and everything, which that'll be done. We are currently working to finalize the firm number pricing with the Gordian and Sourcewell Group. Just for a little bit of an update here, I can give a quick little to show the City Council how the plans have evolved since the last building committee was met here. Let's see if I can remember how to use this thing. So please bear with me. There we go. Okay. All right. So what I have here is just kind of a overall site plan. The proposed site is being located south here off of what. On the bottom of the page here, you see this is Dagobah Road. Here is County Highway 66 here. The building is being proposed kind of in the center of the lot to keep a good distance away from the residential units back here with a good solid tree buffer. That's existing trees that are going to remain, as well as to utilize the two ponds areas off to the west here. With the parking out in front, with employee parking in the back, as well as a drive lane for the police station to make the access and exit as seamless as possible. Kind of just laying things out here. Parking wise, it's increasing the number of stalls that are currently on site now, and just kind of creating a new usable space with trying to maintain some visibility here from County Road 66, as well as to utilize the nice water features and landscaping that's currently on the site. Down here on this first one, let's see. This plan is being proposed to have 2 levels, a partial crawl space and full basement, as well as a main level. It will have an elevator, which is shown. I'll zoom in here in a little bit. Off to the kind of right side of the page here, this is an area underneath the police garage. This is a crawl space for mechanical and storage. This is down in a full basement area here that will utilize a EOC for the Emergency Operations Center, as well as a full basement for storage, and future expansion potentially. I can zoom in here a little bit. And so down here, as well as a few mechanical spaces and stairwells for exiting, as well as one restroom that's downstairs. This is the main level. Zoom out a bit here. So down here at the bottom of the page is the south facing the parking lot. Coming in through the main vestibule and the front doors will be a lobby area. Off to the left side of the page here, I'll zoom into it here, is where the city administration office will be, where to utilize kind of a front desk. Front desk space, fairly similar to what's out here now for the usual city employees, plan review, administration, some office space is a conference room, and then just some storage rooms with some open work areas. And moving across the page here to the center is the new council chambers, which seats 100 seats that is shown there, which is quite a bit larger space than the one we're standing in right now. Towards the bottom of the page there, we have just employee break room, public restrooms, and then as I move across here is where the new police station will be, and quite a bit bigger space than the one that is currently here in the building, to utilize just kind of more officers, kind of make just much more functional space for the police station, and then a 4-stall police garage on the end of the building there. So that's kind of pretty much what's changed, mostly from working with the new building committee since the last time we met. We added an elevator for ease of expansion in the future, as well as city employees to access both levels, as well as making the whole building more accessible to the public. And also creating a larger full basement area just kind of below the city side, just to create some more future expansion space there. So really that's about all that has changed since the last building committee was disbanded and what we worked through with the new building committee on the layout.
I'm going to just open it up and see if there's anybody from the public who's got a question they can't stand to hang on to. Everybody good? You got a comment?
Is there a confinement area, like a small jail if somebody's out of hand, or just interview rooms?
Yeah, there are interview rooms in the building, but there are no like confinement like cells or anything inside the police station. So there's a public interview room. Say if somebody has a issue that can walk in, there is a space to do that is separated from the city, that is more private and more open to the police side, as well as a what I would call a hard interview room, which would be in case they brought somebody to the station from another area. So.
No other comments? What's the next step, Andy?
Yep, the next step would be, once we finalize the hard number through the Gordian and Sourcewell process, we will meet with the City Council again, either at next month's meeting, or it will be done probably within 2 to 3 weeks. We could hold a special session. I will leave that up to you if we want to go that route. And then the final would be to present the final number, and then it would be signing a contract, and then we could start construction after that. We can submit for plan review, like I said earlier, as early as tomorrow, to let the city planning and zoning and officials start looking at it, come up with any questions or comments they may have, and we can work through that and make any changes if they find any between now and signing a contract and breaking ground on construction.
Okay, and you will just let the city know when you've got the final
Yes.
documentation and see if we can do.
Yes. Yep.
Do you think there's any urgency to try to have a special meeting to move it along, or?
I would put that on the building committee and the city council if we feel it's necessary. The goal is to start construction as soon as we can to avoid the winter conditions, which would just end up costing money. And right now, we're tentatively on a scheduled start date of kind of towards the end of September for construction, is where we are at for.
It keeps moving back 2 weeks every time I talk to you.
Did we say middle of September last time?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's still as soon as possible.
I
but
think
we're
we
still-
may
we're
want to
still
have a
in good
special
place.
meeting, is what it
Yep,
sounds like.
and
huh?
yep, we could do that.
I'm gone, right after the council meeting in September, and I'm gone for a period of time.
Well, we'll have it before that,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we could have it, like I said, we're finalizing through the Sourcewell and Gordian process right now, which could take a few weeks, and we'll be in touch as soon as we get those hard numbers. And the last time we did our budget based on the documents that were done for permit, we were right at the budget we had proposed, so things are looking good where we're at right now, so we don't foresee any big number changes or anything like that, so.
It's easier to set a meeting now than wait. I'm wondering if you shouldn't set a date and hope you can make it.
Is it going to be 2 weeks or 3?
I would say 3 to be comfortable, so
Aren't you awful close to the,
And then is
6
it,
days before the regular council meeting.
Well, is the 26th, let's see, what's that? 1, 2, 2.
How about the 29th? That's almost 3 weeks.
Well, we could tentatively push one out and set it there, and if you can't make it, you got to let
You
us
can
know.
always cancel it, but it's a lot
Right.
easier to do it now than
Yeah, then all
scramble.
the emails.
When do you, Nevin, when do
Yeah.
you leave? The 26th?
Yes, I do, yeah. No, I leave on the 28th. Yeah. But I wouldn't have to be here if there's 3 or 4 of them here.
Come back.
Probably the 3rd. And our council meeting is the 9th.
Yep.
26th?
It's fine with me.
Well, that's that Monday. I mean, if you can get it done, it only gives you 2 weeks.
Okay.
Let's get going, come on.
we'll see what we
Eddie.
can do. Yes,
8:26?
8:26.
What time?
We could do it at 4 or something, couldn't we, for a meeting like that? Does it have to be at night?
Well, once you informally agree, you should have a motion on this, but yeah, it doesn't matter, up to the council.
Okay, 26 works for me. You guys?
4 PM?
4 o'clock work?
I'll make it work.
Okay.
So move, we hold a meeting on the 26th at 4 PM.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's get her going, Andy. Okay, number 3 is a resolution accepting donations. We have a donation, actually, are they all from the PAL Foundation?
Yes.
One for $8,392, intended purpose is for the dog park. One for $2,480.68 for the summer reading club. $575.75 for the library brochure, and $63.84 for the garden club, community garden. So thank you to the PAL Foundation.
Make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, Mike?
All right, tonight we have Jason Murray present to talk about our recent bond rating and resolution to issue bonds to finance the new City Hall Fire Station. So go ahead, Jason.
Thank you, Mike. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Here tonight just to share the results of the bond, but first, I did set at your place setting a document that just, it's your most recent rating. I thought it would be appropriate to share with council. It speaks very highly, this rating speaks very highly of your budget performance, your financial policy, your overall management of the city and the city funds. So that's some nice background information based on the interviews and the review that S&P did as part of this bonding.
Can you
So-
put that up on the screen?
Sure,
For the-
sure. It's just, and I set a couple extra out here, but what this does.
It's an AA plus stable rating.
Yep. And you were last rated in 2012, and you were rated an equivalent of a AA minus at that time. So in 7 years, you've increased 2 notches in your rating to that AA plus. So council, congratulations, staff, management, congratulations. It's there's a comment in here that just read it to you here, or show it to you. It's based on the second paragraph. There's the last one. It's just you rated being comparable to a AAA peers out of the metro area. That's very uncommon to be compared to the metro peers. So, congratulations.
Good job, Mike.
Yes?
With that, Mayor and Council, we held the sale today on the $3,815,000 capital improvement bonds. We do note that there was no petition received by August 8th, so we can proceed to closing. We received 6 bids, with Baird and Company being the lowest, and you can see your net interest rate of 1.9384. Our preliminary was right around the 2.8 here back in June when we started this conversation, end of May, early June when we started this conversation. So fact is, we've moved forward in some rate adjustment environments, but your AA plus rating certainly brought in some strong interest in this bond.
Does that carry the full term of the,
It's net effective, yep.
that's awesome.
Yep. So basically, what it saves you is originally we talked about 4.9 million total payments over the life of this bond. It saves you about 300,000, brings it down to about, over the life of about 4.5. So that interest rate helps significantly, so.
Thank you.
Yep, congratulations, council.
Yep.
With that, we bring forward the recommendation to accept the sale with Robert W. Baird and Company. There should be a resolution in your packets, fairly lengthy.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I'll second.
You got a motion and a second. Any discussion on it?
Good work, Mike.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council. Thanks,
Thank you.
Mike. Sharp,
Thank
for all your
you.
work, too.
Thank you.
So.
Okay, thank you. Second item I have under my report is a resolution establishing one voting precinct within the city. Right now, we have 2 voting precincts, but 1 voting location. So it just makes sense to have 1 precinct and 1 location. So if we could get a action on that, that would be really helpful for the clerk.
I so move.
Motion by Andrews.
I'll second.
Peacock, second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All in favor?
All right, the last item on my agenda is a memo from City Clerk regarding website redesign. And what we've got before you is a thoroughly vetted proposal from a vendor we're already using for our ordinances. And so what we'd like to do is go forth with this proposal and get our website redesigned, or at least get that process started going forward, so we could put more things like this wonderful bond rating and shared information better on our website. Again, it's been something we've been talking about for a number of years now, and during last budget process, we did put funds in the budget for doing that, and this is well below our budget estimate to do it, so we'd like to turn Char loose on that and move forward with it.
And Shar, this is going to be able to handle anything we give it in the foreseeable future?
Airfield stuff and, yeah, everything. we talked
Anything
about.
that might come up?
Yes.
When do you think it'll be ready? Do you think it'll be,
3 to 6 months.
okay,
So around the first of the year,
well,
by or around.
February.
February? Oh. Also moved, we approve that.
okay, we got a motion?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Good. Nice.
Okay, great, that's all I have, unless any of you have questions for me.
Nope, thanks.
Okay, great.
TJ, Park and Rec?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I have 2 items on my agenda tonight. First, I'd like to discuss the multi-purpose recreational courts, and I would like to discuss funding options for that. I'll put this up there. This is what I've been working on for the past few months. So as you see, the total estimates that I've been getting recently is right around 128,000, and what we packed away in the capital outlay budget was right around 70 for pickleball and basketball combined. So I have a kind of an idea of what we can do to tackle this project. I'll put this memo up here from the commission and put this back after. So as it reads, it was the consensus of the Cross Lake Park and Library Commission to move the pickleball and basketball project into next year's budget, allowing more time for donations to accumulate and getting lower estimates. Additionally, all were in favor of using park dedication money to help fund this project. So moving forward, this year would just be a little difficult with the numbers that we're getting back with asphalt prices and what we have in our capital outlay budget. So Mike and I talked about this, and if we push this into next year, 2020, we can start getting estimates in the winter, and we can try to line this project up with, I can talk to Ted and Dave Reese, and we can line it up with different asphalt projects throughout the city, and we can try to get a cheaper estimate on this total project. So what I would like to do is put it at 120 for next year, and that'll leave us with 60,000 that we'd have to pull out of park dedication fees to pay for this. And we currently have 80,000 in park dedication.
Yeah, one thing we would do is we would roll the amount we budgeted for you for this year into that, which we've done in the past for other projects to help finance this.
So the total project is 128, is that correct?
Correct.
And you've got 60 in the bank right now from park dedication?
Well, I have 30 from the city, and then the other 30 would be coming from donations. And right now, we're sitting at, let me see here. So just today, I received 1,300, increasing the donation money to 17,215.02 cents. And then in the foreseeable future, I will be seeing another 2,500 from a matching donation. So, giving this time frame, it'll give a little bit more time for the donations to roll in preparation for this project.
And where did you say the $80,000 was?
Park dedication funds. So we would be using 60 of that 80 for this project to get it done.
So you don't need any new money for it?
Nope.
But it would require us to roll the money we budgeted this year
This
for it.
year. How much was that?
About 60.
60, so.
60.
We'd take this year's budget and roll it, and put that aside for next year, and then move forward with it.
And what I'd really like to see, I'd like to put it at 120. But if it comes even lower, then we're just using less park dedication money, which would obviously be good, so.
We're right in the middle of the budgeting process right now. Do we have to decide that tonight, or do we need to look at the whole budget? And see what else is
Well, I
there?
think he's actually just asking for it to be rolled forward, am I
Correct.
correct?
Right.
Yep. All the funds will be there. I'm just asking that we push it into next year so I can get better estimates and a better time frame.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'll make a motion that we roll it into next year and do the project next year.
Okay, do we have a second?
Sure.
Okay, Pam's raising her hand. Should we take her comment, or should we do the motion? Pam, what's your comment? You really should probably come up.
Thank you.
I don't know, is that the way you do it? In the middle of a motion?
Mayor, council members, as some of you probably know, we've been talking about pickleball here in Cross Lake for a while now. We were last here at the city council in January talking about getting it done this year. The land was cleared last fall so that we could build this year. And it does take time, it does take money, it does take a lot of planning, and TJ's been doing that. We're a little bit disappointed that in some of our fundraising, we have not heard back from the Lions yet. We have not heard back from PAL. I'm not sure what they're waiting for yet to put their money. So our $17,000 that we have raised is not including that money to get that done this year. If we wait until next spring, the asphalt that's laid and the paint that needs to go down has to have an evening temperature no less than 50 to put down the lines in the paint, which means we're going to be delaying this project until maybe May or June of next year. So it's not just next year that we can start this. I know I would love to save $20,000, $25,000 with budgeting at lower costs, but we need to be thinking about some of the people that are coming from many areas. See what's right side up here. Around the United States, when they come back in the summer to central Minnesota, they come to Cross Lake to play pickleball because they know the play is here, it's fair, there's rotation of people that play with this silly little ball and bang it around to have fun and camaraderie and meet new people. And they come from Southern California, they come from Florida, they come from Canada to play in Cross Lake, Minnesota. We have a contract, an agreement with a professional to come and host a 2-day clinic here. We were a backup site for rain delay this year. They were so impressed by Cross Lake this summer that they are arranging to have a pickleball 2-day clinic here in July. They're going to start sending out reservations in January for this clinic. That's what I say. I don't feel like I can say, yes, we can have a clinic in July if we don't even have courts built. We can't ask for reservations for people to send him the money to come here for a 2-day clinic if we don't even have courts. So
What are you asking for, Pam?
I'm asking that the money from the park dedication funds that he has and the money that the city had already budgeted and the money that we have raised by some of the people that are here in the audience, raise your paddles, yeah, that money is used this fall to lay out the land, at least lay down the asphalt so that we have a firm surface.
You are interrupting a motion right now to approve just that.
To approve it for next year, yes. That's why I wanted to raise my hand and say, before you approve it for next year, is there a way that we could get the framework done this fall and then the paint may be done next year? Thank you for listening.
Okay. TJ, you want to comment to that?
I think I heard Dave say yes. Dave will haul it in.
Well, bidding a project at this time of the year for asphalt is usually not the best time when contractors are extremely busy. Courts are kind of a specialty, so that might set it a bit apart in that regard. So it's not your typical highway project. So my comment is, yeah, you can put this out there for bid. The timing is probably not the best, but the specialty paving, there might be somebody out there that you could get a competitive bid for it. Okay, so I can't say.
Okay, well, you don't know that until you do it, so you could go ahead and do it, but do you have the monies to pay for it in your funds if you do it, so we don't have to?
He said he did. We have money in the budget this year that we'd roll over, so we have that.
Correct.
And you have
So if
park
you got a budget
dedication.
number and you can get an estimate and it falls in it, I mean, I don't know, if it's now or later.
Can I ask, who, would you do this? Do you have money for WSN to manage this? Or who's managing it, Mike?
Right now, I don't have anyone managing it currently.
So who would,
So we could, I would discuss that with Mike and see what the best option would be, and we'd go from there. I would hesitate doing the whole project this year because I would hate to waste some of the city money, maybe with other estimates that are in here. I know that the surfacing and paint is going to be a bit more because I do know that they're busy. I talked to one of the businesses I got a bid from, and they were currently working on 7 courts.
Yeah,
So-
but if you could get the base done and the
Right.
base coat of blacktop or whatever, yeah, that's,
And I can, if you want me to go out and get another quote for a specialty asphalt and then come back and give you that number, I certainly can.
I don't know everything there is about it, but I would think if you got the monies for the project available there, and you can figure out how to do it and get it done now or later, it doesn't matter, I don't know.
I guess I'd remind you, you do have a motion and a second on
Yeah,
the floor.
right.
And this is your discussion part for that motion.
Yeah.
I'm about to amend it. I'm going to strike next year and do the asphalt, well, 1 layer, if we can get 2 in, I don't know.
But you have to decide on your motion that you have right now to move it, it's to
But
move it to
we
next
have,
year.
we
So
have,
should we let that motion die and just start
oh,
over?
yeah,
It has a second.
Okay.
there has to be a vote.
You can vote no and bring another motion a second later.
All right.
Okay, so we got a motion, a second, all in favor? All opposed, me?
No.
Motion dies. All right.
So I'll make a motion that we allow you to spend what's in the budget this year, plus what you need out of park dedication to get the Class 5 base in and
I don't know.
the unpainted asphalt.
Okay.
And do you have time? Would it help if WSN helped you out with the paperwork? We don't know how much that'll cost, but you can tell us. Sure, it won't be over $500, right?
It would help.
Right, I just don't know how you'd get it done by yourself, but what you have to do, so that's my motion.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
I'll second it, so we move it forward.
Okay, discussion? Anything you want to add to it or anything? Okay, all in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
thanks, thank you.
All right, moving on to my second item. On behalf of the Parks and Recreation Department, we want to thank Dylan Rolfe for him dedicating his free time, making this one-of-a-kind logo for our department. This logo will be used to further promote our department as well as giving us a unique identity. I have a recommendation to accept this as the official logo for the Parks and Recreation Department.
When did we look at doing a new logo, or is that just something you guys did at the park?
No, I got permission.
It seems like we've had a few new logos coming up. No? Sign? I guess the sign?
That was the Cross Lakers. Not the city.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, I don't know anything about this, you guys, I don't know. It's all new to me.
This is just to put on promotional letters along with the city logo. We're not going to negate the city logo. We're just going to use this to further give us an identity, to put on brochures, handouts, flyers, our membership papers, stuff like that.
Do you think it's important to do that, or do we just stick
I
with
do.
the city logo?
For marketing purposes, I do.
Okay, anybody have any comments on it?
That's all right.
It's fine.
Yep,
You have a motion?
so moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, TJ.
Yep.
Public Works is next.
The first one I have in front of you is just an informational meeting that Bolton and Aminka that we discussed about sending out to the property owners along the 66 sanitary. So it's for your information. It'll be on the city website along with being sent to all the property owners affected with the project. Okay.
Ted, are you going to give an update on Perkins Road?
Oh, I'm sorry. Totally blew it off. I already.
Go ahead, finish what you're doing. You can go back to it.
The second part of it is we need to get the geotechnical work done. So we need permission for the mayor to sign the agreement with Braun Intertech to do the geotechnical, the borings and all of the background work so they can get the design done for the road and the sewer installation, so.
And that wasn't part of the last thing we did, this is the next step, huh?
This is usually Bolton and Mink just leads us up to the city just to take care of this part of this. And then we're billed directly for this part of it, so.
Okay.
That's so move.
Okay, we got a motion,
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And then the other one is an update on Perkins Road. Where we're at with that?
Okay, just to give you a brief update, we held a meeting about a week and a half ago to discuss some details about the right-of-way platting of the properties for the right-of-way itself. We've gotten the right-of-way plat basically completed. We talked about some of the specifics on the assessments, and the final step would be the agreement and lease with the Corps. So I think we've got our direction as far as city staff, as far as how we're going to put this together and schedule a hearing. We have not heard back from the Corps yet on a lease, so that's kind of where we're at.
But we are having an informational meeting with all the residents in the end of the month, like 20-something or other,
23rd,
23rd,
Here?
yes.
Yes.
to talk about costs, layout, timing. So we're going to have our first meeting, like, not our first meeting, but our first meeting with good data with the whole neighborhood.
With all the property owners involved.
Well, we invited them all. We'll see who comes. Yeah.
Who else is coming? Anybody?
Anyone in the project area, we sent a notice to, including those that aren't paying for it, that if there's still some construction activity, like past the proposed area and before, so not just people that are going to
Right.
potentially be assessed, but even anyone that
Impacted.
their travel home is not going to be as nice.
Are we supposed to go, or does it matter, or?
It's a public meeting.
Yeah, okay.
What's the time?
1 o'clock.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask one more question? This has to do with the sewer extension up to 16. Bolton and Mink asked us at this time, does the city want to look at adding street lighting with this project? This is be the first opportunity we've had to, where we have the street all torn up, curb and gutters essentially out, and be looking at putting street lighting from City Hall to 16. It would up the costs, and that isn't an accessible cost in our policy, so.
Is that?
What
kinda-
do they want, what do you as a group want to do? Or do you want to think about it and let me know in the near future?
Yeah, what do we want to do with lighting the streets? Is that the direction we want to go? We've always been fighting it.
I know we've always been fighting it, it was asked of me, so I thought I would bring it forward.
Are we talking a lot of additional cost?
Well, the lights like that we put in front of Andy, each pole was 5,000, so. Now realize,
5,000?
yep, realize that was, just a small little project, and this isn't, be strung out and,
Let's just put that off till next meeting and maybe have an estimate or something that we're looking at, but let's think about that. I don't know.
Street lights are in there.
what's that?
Street lights are number 4.
So-
Eligible.
Oh, on the.
Yeah, it's
assessment?
eligible in the accessible
Boy, people
costs.
are gonna be complaining though, the lights are gonna be shining on their windows. We gotta think about that.
It just, they brought it up with me, so I wanted to bring it forward. I didn't want to be
Any
accused of something,
comment,
so
public input would be appreciated on that one.
let us know,
Yeah, okay.
let me know, let us know.
Okay,
Last thing, just for council's information, public information. This Thursday, or Wednesday and Thursday, the county is doing sealing of the bridge at CNC Boat Works. It'll be down to 1 lane through the day, and then back open at night. County 36, the bridge there between the Catholic Church and the cemetery, is going to be shut down. You will not be able to drive through there on Thursday. You'll have to go, depending which way you're coming, you gotta go around. They'll be shutting the road down, so.
okay. Thanks, Ted. Okay, public forum, no action will be taken on any of the issues raised. If appropriate, the issues will be placed on the agenda for future council meetings. Speaker must state their name and address. Each speaker is given 3 minutes. Come on up, Pat.
Pat Netco, Cross Lake resident, business owner, and a member of the Cross Lakers. We are very excited to invite everyone in the community and all city council members to come to our annual Cross Laker Community Update event at Zorba's this coming Thursday at 5:30, from 5:30 to 7. There will be many updates of projects that have been happening and projects that are in the works right now, and an opportunity to answer questions. So we would love to see all of you there at this event. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat. Anybody else want to come up? Okay, public forum is closed. Brad, do you have anything?
Just looking for a motion to authorize staff to set a public hearing on that, the proposed assessment of costs on that, the city hall / sewer extension.
Daggett Bay
Yeah.
Road.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Set a date, 10:15 or earlier, is that what I heard?
I don't know about that. I want to make sure we get it, staff has authority. It's also, it'd be nice to have a date as well, yes, but I don't know if that's known or,
Do we have to decide that right now, or could you set
well,
a date?
it's most efficient to do both, especially if it's coming soon, but I don't know when staff's ready, so.
Yeah, okay, well,
October 1st? In the evening, 6 p.m.?
October 1st? Okay, so we have a motion?
Sure.
Second? Do we need a motion, a second?
I made a motion.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
second.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
What time was that meeting?
6 o'clock. Okay, any old business, new business?
October 1st.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.